How's it going, YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Lost Light. In this particular episode, we're probably going to aim to try and get a few more of our tasks under our belt and maybe do a little bit of exploring on our Marauder on a different map that we haven't really explored too much of at this present moment in time. But first and foremost, we are just going to go ahead and grab our rewards from the current events that are going on. Obviously, the joy coins are quite nice because if we go over here, we have a plethora of different things that we can go ahead and grab with our joy coins. However, I don't really know what we should be spending our joy coins on, so we're going to keep hold of them for this moment in time. Now, with regards to our first run, we are going to look to try and get this particular task done, which is essentially just to bring back at least 300k worth of supplies. We can basically do this on any map, so we could go and try to explore a new map on our Firefly as well, which might be something that I am very tempted to do. So if you go to prepare, we've been to the factory in Mount Akiyama, but that's basically the only places that we have been to when it comes to this particular map. Now, we do obviously have like the occupied zone, which is now unlocked. However, the difficulty is a fatal risk, which probably means the AI on this map are fairly cracked and fairly beefed up. Obviously, it does also mean we're going to have a fair amount of fireflies to get through as well, but I feel like potentially going to somewhere like Fisher Storage because it's got a moderate risk, it's not too difficult. Obviously, the supplies aren't amazing, it is limited supplies, but that's pretty much exactly the same as BAF Factory. Fisher Town, again, moderate risk with limited supplies. Arc Farmer, high risk, but it has sufficient supplies. The Waterfront Depot is a moderate risk. Violet Hospital is a high risk, and then Sunset Docks even is also a moderate risk. So there's only a couple of places that have like a high risk factor, but I think we're going to jump into Fishertown just to have something a little bit different in terms of the map that we are heading into. Now, I'm going to probably change my weapon as well. As much as I like this particular AK build, like without a sight and stuff, I just don't think it's going to do us much good. So I think we are going to go ahead and swap to this MH21N instead. It's got a little bit more modification to it, which means that it's going to be a little bit easier for us to like aim down sight, see down sight, etc. We have a foregrip already, a different stock. Obviously no suppressor, but that's fine. We don't have a flashlight, but I don't really feel like we have any need for a flashlight right now. Like, I haven't run into anyone that's running a flashlight and kind of like used it to a good ability in terms of being able to like blind us like you can in, for example, Tarkov. We do actually have another compatible enhancement chip, which is the Arc CS, but we currently have obviously the Dutch UC, which is like a team up signal. This is alert range and blinking alert range, which I don't know if we're able to like swap this over or not. So let's have a quick look. Let's go ahead and equip, including don't know what that means. There we go. We need to swap it just there. I knew there was a way that we could swap it, I just wasn't 100% sure, but we have sorted it now. And I think the next thing we're going to do is probably choose a different bag to come in with. Obviously, we've got a couple of bags already on us, but they do have some bits and bobs in them. But I think we are going to go ahead and purchase something like this. It's a different bag, it's a little bit bigger, but it does mean we don't have to mess around too much in our storage. Or we could go for this one, which again is bigger and it doesn't actually cost too much money for us to use. So I think we'll go ahead and grab this bag. It's only 194k, but we don't have enough space, which obviously means that it's expecting us. Let's go ahead and equip this for the time being then, just so we can grab this bag. Transfer items from one backpack to a new one. No. Meaning that this has now gone into storage and this has now gone onto our person, which is lovely. I'm also going to put on a armor plate or two, i.e. 1 set of armor plates, and I'm also going to bring in a grenade with us as well, just so we have that to hand if needed. Now, with regards to ammo, I'm fairly tempted to bring in the PP rounds. Also, we do have quite a few BS rounds, but I want to leave those for the time being. So we'll carry 300 and pay a little bit extra to carry those 300. And we will just load up a magazine as well. But anyway, let's jump into our first run of the episode. Hopefully we'll be able to bring back 300k's worth of supplies. Obviously this is a brand new map. We haven't actually run it on our Firefly. I think this might have been a map that we attempted to run on our Marauder in the latter part of the most recent episode of Lost Light. I could be wrong. Obviously there's 2 like Fisher maps that you can run on this game. But regardless, I do want to try something a little bit different. I know we're probably going to have to go back to Factory or the or Mount Akiyama as our map for future tasks. But I feel like running something a little bit different. Plus, we have a few more Fireflies in this particular run, meaning we might get into a bit more action, should I say? Now, obviously, looking at the lobby as you can do, there's a few people with like lower tier gear than us. There's obviously a handful of people with higher tier gear than us. Either way, we will take fights if we come across people, unless of course we're unable to pen their armor. Then we'll have to be a little bit more tactical about how we go about moving through the map. We're going to go with unloading area. I feel like that might be the best option for us. Obviously we've got medicine factory as well. The lighthouse is currently locked off to us. I don't know whether that means there's too many people in that area for us to obviously go ahead and load ourselves into the raid there. But not knowing this map means that we don't really know where a lot of the good loot spawns. But as long as we have 300k worth of loot as we exfil, we should be in a good spot. But we are just going to go ahead and pretty much loot everything for the time being. And then we can do a little bit of maneuvering with the loot as we progress through this run. So we do have a little bit of scrap there. Not the greatest item to find, but as I said, it will be quite handy just to have a little bit of value on us. So not really anything to shout about in the building we spawn next to, but we will continue on our way and see if we can find anything moving through the map here. I don't know if I was just hearing footsteps or what I was hearing, but regardless, we will kind of keep an ear out just in case. We are going to take pretty much everything as I mentioned for now, and then we can sort out our gear or our the stuff that we're picking up as we progress through the map. Another weapon isn't too bad, especially at 100k's value. Does mean that we're pretty much a quarter of the way to our gold already. In fact, we're over a quarter of the way. We are currently sitting at 260k. So this could be a very quick run just to get the 300k needed. At the same time, it could be a run that we want to continue moving through, moving through the map with. We'll have to kind of wait and see. We'll definitely take that SKS just because it will mean that, again, our loot has gone up in value. So I just heard someone running, and it sounded like they were in the building opposite us. They are definitely in the building opposite us. Okay, we'll go and investigate. Why not? I know we've got 500k's worth of gear on us right now. However, I would like to try and get into a little bit of action.
First strike.
Creep walking there was definitely the right play. We'll take that VSS. We'll take this. We'll take this. Definitely take this. Can't say no to a bit of fairly decent loot. How much space we got? Not a lot. We have over a mill's worth of loot as well. This is probably all looted up because this is where they came from. So I think realistically we can probably start moving towards our exfil. Can you not cross water in this game? Is that what it's trying to tell me there? Your character is unable to wade through water. Okay. Noted. But that is a firefly kill. I think that was the guy that we saw that had basically spawned in with nothing. And if I'm honest, I am quite tempted to do like a Zero to Hero style run on this game, because it seems like it's a game that's not easy to make money, but it's easier to make money. I'm guessing Raymond is the boss on the map. I could be wrong, obviously, but I've never had it pop up like that with normal fireflies. I've never actually had it pop up with any other bosses either, so could be just a random like pop up, but it could also, I think that is exactly who they mean. That's a gas nade. That could also be a player, I suppose. No, that's definitely a boss, I think. We are in a bad spot here. As I said, we are in a bad spot. Okay. That's yeah, that's not ideal. Let's redeploy. We could actually just redeploy with nothing, but I feel like, yeah, I feel like that might be the play, you know. Go in with completely and utterly nothing and try and see if we can make things work. Now, we know that Raymond is a boss. We know that he's tanky. He has guards that all have really good like loadout gear. I would kind of like to go down to our loot again, but it's probably not the best practice. I'll take the couple of kills we did end up getting, though, because we can't really complain about that. But at the same time, now we also know that Raymond does absolutely push the hell out of you with his guards. But we have a pistol. That is like the main kind of benefit, I suppose, of coming back into this run. We don't have the biggest bag. That's like the main thing I would love to try and get out of this run is my bag back. So if we can get down there and get our gear, that would be like the biggest ideal situation. But knowing that Raymond's down there and knowing he has a bunch of guards with him could kind of put me off doing that. But we'll have to wait and see. We'll continue to like loot up the areas that we already like touched, just to see if everything or anything had respawned. Doesn't look like it has in terms of the loot that we already grabbed, but we may as well pick up everything from this firefly that we ended up killing. We will actually replace our helmet, and then we can continue onwards. Anything in here? Doesn't look like it. Obviously, we are tracking Raymond, meaning that we can kind of see where he is on the map at not all times, but the majority of the time. We will just see if there's anything that's worth us grabbing, which there always seems to be. We will also take that folding, was that a folding scapula? Not too sure, but right now we want to try and get our, well, we've already got our gear back up to above 300k, which would get the task done. But as I said, I would like to try and get my gear back, but I just don't think that's a good idea. But I really want that bag back. That's the biggest thing I'd love to get back from this run, is the bag. Because we didn't spend a lot of money on it, but we spent a reasonable amount, I suppose, in relation to like our value that we already had. No, we are tracking Raymond as it keeps popping up on the top right. But I'm hoping we might be able to just get our gear and dip. Can I drop my bag? I can drop my bag. That's huge. Now I know I can do that. Just kind of want to pick everything back up that we had, because we had a lot of decent gear. Let's drop you, put you on, put you there. Can I just change the VSS placement? We will replace the armor, and then we can literally go ahead and grab pretty much everything we have here. So we don't really want to disturb Raymond if we can help it here. We want to pick up this helmet, I think, but everything else I'm not too fussed on. Do we want any of this? I kind of want this AK over this one. Class 4 armor is probably going to be better. Take this because we can always repair it. We will replace what we have. And we are getting out of here because I can hear them running around. And that will not be a fun encounter, I'm not going to lie. I've already tried that encounter. And we failed miserably. Where's my... So foreign scapulars are 2 things. Let's get rid of that. I want to take that, so we'll get rid of one of these for this. But other than that, I think we're good. We could probably take the SSD. We'll drop this for the SSD. Take the new pounds. Right, we are definitely out of here now. We are not going to try and take Raymond on. We've got our gear back, which is huge. We've also upgraded our helmet and our armor. So all in all, we're actually in a much better spot than we were originally. So that was definitely a big worth in terms of bringing or buying ourselves back into this run. But I do want to go over to this exfil here because it is the closest to us. Just making sure there's nothing or no one nearby. That's not open, so we don't need to worry about that. Let us get out of this run because we do not want to be here anymore. We've already encountered Raymond, which was not a good situation for us in the slightest, but we have got the gear back, which is massive for us. Absolutely huge. We also got the dog tag back that we had already obviously got from the kill that we obtained before we had to redeploy. But it was definitely worth us getting back into that run for sure. Excuse me, because we should. 1.3 mil. Huge success right there. Huge, huge, huge run. That was definitely worth the redeploy, as I said. Like, sometimes I'll probably redeploy, other times I won't. I know I can have like a set preset for redeploying into the raids, which we haven't really sorted out, if I'm perfectly honest. We are just going to put everything into a bag if we can. I know that the weapons probably won't go into a bag, but I know I can put like the armor in bags, like the injectors, the knife, which we could probably actually put on our person. So I know for a fact this VSS isn't going to fit into a bag, so we'll pop it there. This can also go in there, and that is basically everything. Oh, we'll move this over too, and we'll move the lockbox key over, but everything else is perfectly fine where it is. And we will return to our shelter, because it means our companion level has leveled up to level 7. I don't know if we're going to have room to claim this helmet. We are. That's huge. Lovely jubbly. And we'll also claim our reward from Heidi, because we ended up getting out of that raid successfully in the end. So we need to do exactly the same thing as we just done with 300k worth of supplies, but we also need to successfully evacuate and take less than 1,200 damage. That's fine. We can do that. We can probably go to another map we haven't gone to yet. We still need to modify an MP5, which we don't have access to right now. So we'll leave that for the time being. But I do want to go to my where is it? My storage. There we go. We want to go ahead and repair the gear that we took into that run. We're going to repair it with the best scrap that we have, just to give it the best possibility of keeping us alive. I don't want to sell. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Can I please? Thank you. Oh, the melee can't be placed here. Are you sure? Like, this is a new melee, right? Is this a new melee or no? Don't know. Don't think so. Either way, I think it's best for us to sell a few things to Heidi. So let's go back to here. We will go to the trading center. And then we want to sell a few things to Heidi here, because we don't have a lot of room in the storage at this present moment in time. So we may as well go ahead and sell what we can. I'm very tempted to sell a few of these weapons, like these two, for example. Sell this to her as well. I have a fair few AKs. I think we sell this AK to free up a bit of room. Can I sell? Don't want to sell that. We can't sell those. Basic expansion box. We'll have a look at that in a minute. We'll sell this as well. I also want to sell. Oh, I also want to batch sell this and this to her. Okay, so you can only have stacks of 350. I want to have a look at what's in this expansion box if I can. But if I go to storage and auto sort real quick, and then go to 2 now. Is it 2? Where is it? Where has it disappeared to? There. Acquired by chance in the marked region. Yeah, we don't need to worry about that. So it says use for pet upgrade. Lovely. So where is our pet center? So we need 2 more for a pet upgrade. So that's what they are for. So we might as well keep hold of those for now. We don't need to worry too much about turning these in, but we'll definitely claim them. So I think it might be worth us having a look to see if we can upgrade our storage again. We should be able to, right? Yeah, we've got all of that. So we'll submit that. 10 minutes and our storage will upgrade again by 32 slots, which is very, very handy for us. This is an ammo case, right? Yeah. Like, I wish it was easier for us to select something and like take things out, and it is, so we should be fine. We'll put that on there. We will need to have a look at the areas where we can like unlock the things that we've managed to unlock, is what I'm trying to get at. But we want to try and put as much of this ammo into our ammo box as possible, because it will free up a bunch of room for us. So that is what I'm going to go ahead and do here. Can I? You can't just... Okay, let's put this in there, this in there. So there's nothing else there. I didn't actually mean to put that in here. Auto sort everything in there, but I kind of want to put it there again. Lovely. So the next thing that we want to do is probably auto sort this, just to see how much room. So we've got a decent chunk of room now, which is good. We have a couple of obviously ammo, or a couple of bits of ammo should I say, in here that we just slot there. And that is that sorted. So the next thing that we want to do is go to the archive, and we can unlock practically everything that we have available to unlock really quickly. because this way we'll be able to buy this stuff from Heidi, obviously prior to going into runs, which is massive for us because it means that we have a lot more opportunity to gain better equipment. We'll also just claim the rewards off of the daily tasks, even I was about to say quest tasks, same thing I suppose. And then if we go back to the storage and go to 3, we should be able to just dismantle this, which gives us a bit more scrap and also some additional items. So we got wires and a cooler from that as well, so we'll claim those. Lovely jubbly. And that is us basically ready to run into the next raid. I am just going to go ahead and use our peaches and also some water, so we are topped up ready for the next run. We don't actually need to use the water, that's actually quite handy. So let's get into the next raid. So obviously we've been to Fishertown. We know that there is a boss that has a decent amount of guards and a decent like armor set. So I think we go back there, we take the same weapon, but I feel like taking the maximum amount of BS rounds, if I'm honest. I want to unload this because I don't want to be taking those in. I'd rather take in these, just in case we come up against the same boss. We actually have ammo this time around that can penetrate through his armor and also his like goons armor. And we also have a good potential to be able to get 300k's worth again. We just need to take as little damage as possible in this run. We don't want to be going into this run gung-ho like we were last run and being like, oh yeah, we'll be able to take this boss on, and then turns out that we will get absolutely obliterated. But this time around, we do actually have better armor which will penetrate the boss's armor as well as the guard's armor. So hopefully, if we do run into him this time around, we have a better opportunity at being able to end up killing him and obtaining said gear. Now we do have a few people, much like the last run, that do have the same tier armor as us, some of which are running decent armor but not decent ammo, and we also have people that are running decent ammo but not decent armor. So what I like about this game a lot is you can run like level 2 armor and not worry too much about fights because you're running like not the best but like nearly the best, almost the best ammo. But we are just going to very quickly do a very similar route to what we did in the last run, but I do want to go underground again and see if the boss is up, because if he's up and we can take him out, then I'll be very happy with that situation. We do have some firefights, or we can hear a firefight going on over in the big section to our right, but we are going to allow that to go down whilst we do have a look at what we can get from the ammo cases in here. We will just grab everything much like the last raid, and then we can sort out everything that we want to take and not take once we are in a position that will mean that we need to do exactly that. But we do now have another VSS, so that's our second VSS that we found. So we can't really be complaining about the weapons and what we're finding. I don't actually know if the VSS is going to be worth... Why can't I take this? No idea. We'll leave it. But I don't know if the VSS is a decent weapon, not a decent weapon. I do not know, but we'll definitely take that armor as well. That's another good armor for us to keep hold of for the future. The SKS we can take because we'll probably just end up selling it. And again, we'll just take these 2 bits as well. I would like to actually wear the armor I brought in rather than this armor. Even though it's got more hit points by 3, I feel it's going to be better suited to run the armor that we had on in the first place. But we are going to run over to the building to our now left, but immediately in front of us, just to see if there's anything worthwhile in here. So this door is open. pretty sure that could... I'm almost certain that spawns open every time, but I could be wrong. I'm going to leave the Torn Intelligence. We might need that in the future, but we're going to leave it for now. Anything worth taking in here? Probably only this. Oh, hello. We will be taking you. Definitely take these two as well. Now, I want to try and go underground like we did in the last run. I'm not saying that the boss is going to be there this time, but at the same time, if we have like a little pop-up saying, oh, such and such is nearby, because I cannot remember his name, then we'll definitely go and take that fight. We can hear shots over here still, but they sound very distant, if I'm honest. Apart from what sounds like a sniper, everything else sounds fairly distant, so I'm not going to worry myself too much unless the shots get closer. If the shots start sounding like they're getting closer, we will then obviously look to be a little bit more vigilant. But this is the area that we ran into the boss in the last run. Don't need that. We haven't had the pop-up yet saying he's nearby. Just heard someone VoIPing. Yeah, we just heard someone VoIPing, and I didn't know that was a thing in this game, I'm going to be honest. Not expecting them to be that close around the corner. We do need an MP5. We'll have a look and see if we can fit that in. We could probably drop the SKS. But we do need the MP5 to mod. Kind of want this, but we have this. I'm just trying to figure out if we can take both. We can, lovely. Take the nade as well. I think it's definitely time for us to look to exfil. So we're going to go back up the way we came and then move to the exfil that I was going to head towards prior to the exfil that required 2 dog tags being open for us. So we brought the right ammo, just no actual boss this run. Obviously, we heard someone what sounded like VoIPing, which I didn't actually know was a thing in this game. So we need to be a little bit vigilant of that, I suppose. I'm just going to let our temp go down a little bit here. And now we will push on towards exfil. Being a little bit vigilant due to obviously hearing the VoIP. There's a bit of firefights to our west, which we kind of have to move past anyway. So if we see anyone that we think might be worth fighting, we'll kind of debate it. Didn't even see them to begin with. I'll take the headshot though. That was quite nice to have, or quite nice to happen, because I didn't actually think we were gonna headshot them to begin with. We'll take the armor plates. We have some on, which is why it hasn't equipped them, which is fine. Okay, so we need to go round here and to the left for the exfil, it seems. But this did seem like it was the area that we had a bit of shooting at. So we do need to be wary of that. They had a little bit of health taken off them. It wasn't much, but it was a little bit. So there could be a potential firefly around here. Not really anything worth taking off of them. And I think we will just get out of this run. But I'm not going to stand still, just in case we do have someone relatively close by. Because I don't want to be one shot with like a sniper or something silly. But that is another task under our belt, which is huge. And we've reached level 10, which is also very nice to see. The evacuation does give us a star there, which is lovely. And we do obviously have a heirloom treasure required off the back of that run. We get 1.5 mil, so another decent little run right there. As I said, it doesn't seem to be too hard to gain money in this game. Like, it seems that it's fairly straightforward to obtain money and be able to like buy things. Obviously, you need to be able to like figure out what to sell and what not to sell. But it does seem better than Tarkov in terms of like money making. Obviously, Tarkov, if you know where you need to go and stuff with money making, then you're sweet anyway. But regardless of that, this game just seems to be that little bit easier to obtain money as you move through the raids. And I think we should be very close to our upgrade on the stash, which would be also quite nice to obtain. Another companion level, which gives us a armor, which I know for a fact we currently do not have the space to take, so we'll leave that in there for the time being. But our storage is now upgraded to level 6, so we have 32 extra slots available in storage, which does now mean we can take that armor quite happily. So let's go ahead and didn't want to do that. We'll go to here and we'll claim our newbie level up stuff, and then we'll claim all of the spray can giveaway tokens as well. Obviously reward exchange, don't really know what to take from there, so we're going to leave it for the time being. Wrong thing. If we go to companion now, we can grab our armor. So I do like the fact that like in the free companion, you're still getting reasonably good gear. Obviously, you're not getting like the red gear that you'd get off the back of being in the companion plus, but you're still getting like purple gear. You're still going to get like your polythene armor plates. You're still going to get like a small item case as well. You'll get like keys, you'll get a weapon. Like, I do like the fact you're still going to get decent rewards from just using the free companion, which is like really nice to see. A lot of times you'll play a game and you won't get the battle pass, and you won't actually end up getting the item, like any relatively nice items, until like right at the end of your battle pass. So I do like the fact you do get stuff a little bit quicker on this. But we'll claim our reward from doing our task for Heidi there. So we need to earn over 200k new pounds by selling items from storage. We can do that quite easily, I feel like. But we'll go ahead and just put on an integral suppressor to this weapon, which is this one right here, 53k, but we'll go ahead and equip that regardless, because we can go ahead and inspect and submit that weapon for this Judas task. And we can go ahead, so we're not going to modify a Mosin, but we will go ahead and accept this. So we need to eliminate enemies with an MP5 within 5 shots 3 times. I think that's going to be something that we look to potentially do on the factory map, because it is a very small map. We can get into quite a few exchanges quite quickly, but we are going to sell to Heidi because she is asking us to do so. I'm going to sell this and this. We'll also sell this. We'll sell this. We'll sell this. We'll sell the dog tag as well, because at the moment we don't necessarily need that. What does that say? Batch sale in progress, unable to sell this item right now. Oh, I thought that was going to be like, sell this, like all of this to Heidi, but in reality it wasn't. So let's close this real quick and batch sell again. So anything that's locked with this, we'll wait to sell just so we can unlock it beforehand. Anything that we want to sell in here, probably not this because it's at 700 value. Any like small meds, I think we'll definitely go ahead and sell. That biscuit we'll keep hold of. I don't know if we're ever going to use this site, so we'll definitely get rid of that. So weapon wise, is there anything else I'm not necessarily going to use? Like this is probably one of them. This is only a blue tier weapon, but I feel like we can put decent enough ammo in it. We've got a couple of stocks which we want to keep hold of. We are obtaining decent armors, so I think we are going to sell this blue armor. The helmet, I'll probably sell this helmet because this is still a 45 out of 45 helmet. Anything in here we want to sell. The watch we'll definitely get rid of. Get rid of these. Definitely get rid of this and this as well. I think we might need this fuel at some point, but I'm also very tempted just to sell it as well. So we're going to go ahead and do so. That will get our task done with Heidi once again to sell items to her. So we'll go ahead and claim the rewards from her. And now we need to submit one ultra I can't pronounce that. Polyethylene? I don't know. And pick up 10 scrap in an operation and successfully evacuate. Okay. That's fine. We can certainly get that done. But the main thing I want to do now is go into factory just for a very, I say quick, but a raid where we can make use of this MP5. And we'll get some ammo for it in a minute. But one thing I very quickly want to do is just submit the weapons and stuff that we have again to our archive, allowing us to buy them from Heidi if needed. So just like that, we have all of those unlocked. So let's go back to the storage. We need to get ourselves some ammunition for this weapon. Obviously, we've got AP 6.3 and 7M30 that aren't unlocked right now, which is a little bit annoying because I think we might have been able to unlock this AP 6.3 in one of our previous runs. So we don't really have anything that's going to be able to shred with this P90, so I think we don't take this actually. I think we take something, we'll take probably the AK that we've been using, and we go in with the 167 rounds of BS ammo just in case we run into any chads in this raid, because at least that way we'll have a better opportunity at being able to obviously take them down without too much hassle. Do we have, so we've got room, so we'll auto sort everything again just so we fill up that room, and we've got a bit more room at the bottom of our storage in case we get anything nice in this factory run. But let's go ahead and get that underway. So the reason we're going to factory is if we go to Judas, we need to eliminate 3 marauders with headshots from no less than 10 meters away whilst hip firing. Okay, we'll grab that, is for sure. We need to eliminate enemies with an MP5, which is the reason we're going to go to factory, so we might actually change this, or change where we're going to go even. So if we go to prepare, in fact, we are at 44 minutes of recording, so we're going to go into a run with our Marauder to round off the episode, and I'm gonna probably head to Waterfront Depot just to have something a little bit different. We don't have the greatest gear in the world because obviously it is a Marauder, but we have some rip ammo, so we need to aim for places that we will feel like they aren't armored from a Firefly perspective. Obviously we can still kill the likes of the other Marauders. We just need to be wary of Marauders in that general area, but we will go ahead and confirm our Marauder gear here just to see if we can get a little bit more money made off the back of this run. If we can, happy days. This skin is really nice, by the way. I do like the look of this skin. Not too sure about the pumpkin head. Obviously it's not quite Halloween anymore, but it is interesting to see. This person, Jeff89, has insane gear. I want to try and stay away from them if we possibly can. But obviously we have no control over the people that we potentially run into. And we haven't actually played this map as far as I can remember. We may have ended up coming to this map. We might have come to this map instead of like one of the other places in a previous episode. We completely failed at jumping up there, but I don't even think there's anything worth up there anyway. So we could kill this Marauder outside for their gear. We are going to take this armor before we do anything though. So is it just the one of you here? Or are there more? Why am I aiming for the head when I've got rip ammo? That was a silly mistake on my part to start with there. Obviously, I don't condone like this kind of aka scav on scav violence or Marauder violence, but when you don't have the greatest gear on your Marauder and you want to just try try and make a bit of money off of your Marauder, for me, I feel like it is definitely worth taking a few Marauder like kills, especially as there doesn't seem to be any sort of karma like there is on whatchamacallit, on Tarkov. Ooh, yes please. We will take a upgrade on our armor for sure there. Obviously we could have taken the blue armor. Obviously we can't take it as well. It would have been a case of dropping the rest of the stuff we've picked up for it. But finding the tier 4 armor on our Marauder is very handy, because it's again another armor that we can put in our storage for our Firefly to run. I think I'm going to actually run with the AK out. I know it's only got level 1 piercing as well. We've got an exfil right there, so if you wanted to get out with this gear, we could. But I kind of want to at least look at the Waterfront Depot area and see if we can find anything worthwhile there before we get out of this run. Just PST GZH. So I'm going to leave that. If that was like AP 6.3 ammo, I thought there was another Marauder down there, but there's not. But if it was AP 6.3, I would have definitely taken it so we had it unlocked for the for our Firefly. I'm not sure if there's going to actually be anything in this area that's worth grabbing, but it's definitely worth having a quick look at, in my opinion. Apparently, according to the map, you can get scrap here. Obviously, it doesn't count on your Marauder, but if I can grab some scrap just for the the repairs on armor, I will definitely be looking to take it. But it doesn't seem that these hangars have any loot in them whatsoever. That we might just be in like the wrong area of the map to gain a decent amount of gear. But the scrap, as I said, even though we can't use it for the task on the Marauder, we can still at least take some scrap in order to have the ability to repair, even if it's just like level, like low level armor and stuff. it'll be fairly handy to have. But one thing that I've been thinking of, and I'll probably do it in a upcoming episode, is I'm very tempted to buy like really low tier like gear. So like a low tier helmet, a low tier like armor, a weapon that's basically like this, like a stock AK, and not necessarily the lowest tier ammo, but like ammo that could probably pen at least like say tier 2 armor and tier 2 helmets, and then that way we'd be able to kind of do like a, not necessarily a 0 to hero, but we can do like low level gear to high level gear and just see if we can stick in a run for a reasonable amount of time, get ourselves like a nice bit of gear from maybe like bosses or maybe other fireflies that we catch off guard. We could run rip ammo and be able to like aim for legs and stuff. So that is an idea for an episode that I have coming up. I'm not too sure exactly when that episode will come out because I haven't really decided when I'm going to do it yet. However, it's definitely something excuse me, definitely something I'm looking to do. I apologize about the sneezing in the summertime, but I suffer from hay fever and right now it is kicking my ass, not gonna lie. But to be fair, having that AK does mean we're kind of one step closer to doing the episode I've just talked about, because we have a stock AK. So it's not like we have to go out and be like, oh, we need to find an AK or we need to buy an AK. We also have a stock MH73, so that's also reasonably handy to have, because at least that way we do have everything kind of available pretty much off the rip. But we're going to go ahead and just store everything in here. Like, we've got a level 1 helmet now, so we could even do it in the next episode. So we've got a small bag, we've got like a level 1 helmet, we've got like a base set of gear already practically done. But we will definitely take that particular run. This is just telling us that we can go ahead and exchange our rewards. I don't actually know what this is. Can I have a look at this before I get it? Okay, a premium trial card for 7 days. That's not too bad, to be fair. I don't know if that means that you get this. I don't think it does, right? I could be wrong, but I don't think it does. I think it has other benefits. So I'll have to look into that before we go ahead and obviously grab it. But we are just going to go ahead and turn in the few bits that we got off the back of that last Marauder run. And then I am going to go to the trading center. I'm going to sell to Heidi. And if we go to the 3rd slot, we can probably go ahead and sell pretty much everything bar the scrap in here, I feel like. Just like so. I'm also going to take this out just so we have nothing in there for when we do want to go ahead and run the little like episode I was on about, which is going to be probably an upcoming episode fairly soon. I'm thinking about right now upgrading our storage again, just so we have a place to store the bag. Although, yeah, because we don't have room right now. So if we go to here, what do we need? I think we've got everything for that again. So we're going to go ahead and accept this. We're going to upgrade it. So the premium does take off time on your upgrades, which is quite nice to see. But we'll get that ready for the next episode. And I think the next episode will be based around trying to do like, not necessarily 0 to hero runs, but like low gear to high gear runs and see what we can get done. But regardless of that, guys, that is going to do it for this particular episode. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Maybe also hit that notification bell to be notified as and when I upload a brand new video. I'll leave links in the description down below for my social media if you want to check me out there. That'd be greatly appreciated. There'll also be links to my Twitch and my TikTok, of which I'll be streaming on in the upcoming weeks quite often, because I am off work for 2 weeks, so I can kind of focus a lot on content for those 2 weeks. And I'll also leave links to my other channels in the description down below as well. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.